I'm Anderson Cooper in Las Vegas. Tonight, the presidential candidates come here to win the West.
The West. From the mountain majesty of the Rockies to the desert sands of the Mojave, the American frontier is a historic land of opportunity for Republicans.
Believe in America.
Tonight, the fight for the GOP presidential nomination comes here, to a region where Barack Obama made inroads 4 years ago, to a state that could be decisive in the primary season and the general election, to a city where dreams are made and crushed. Stand by for a Las Vegas event. The Republican presidential contenders, on stage and in depth. After a dramatic reshuffling of the pack, Herman Cain, now among the leaders, surging in recent weeks.
We put more boots on the
Rick Perry, trying to get back on track after a meteoric rise.
Thanks for being here today.
And Mitt Romney, steady, holding his place in the top tier. They could have the most to win or lose. But Newt Gingrich, Michelle Bachmann, and Ron Paul could be wild cards. And Rick Santorum eager to beat the odds. The candidates facing tough questions about jobs and the economy, the immigration wars, and other issues that matter to Westerners and voters across the nation. Now, with nothing less than America's future at stake, the presidential campaign goes west.
Welcome to the Sands Convention Center at the Venetian in Las Vegas, our host for the Western Republican presidential debate. Tonight, 7 contenders will be on this stage to convince you he or she should be the Republican nominee for President of the United States. I'm Anderson Cooper. Welcome to our viewers in the U.S. and around the world. Tonight's debate is airing on CNN, CNN International, CNN Espanol, and the American Forces Network. We want to thank our co-sponsors, the Western Republican Leadership Conference, representing 16 Western states and territories. Western voters will play an active role in tonight's debate. Voters here in our audience will have a chance to put questions directly to the candidates on this stage. Let's meet the 2012 Republican presidential contenders. Joining us on stage, Minnesota Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann. The former Speaker of the House, Newt Gingrich. Texas Governor Rick Perry. Former Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney. The former president and CEO of Godfather's Pizza, Herman Cain. Texas Congressman Ron Paul. And the former U.S. Senator from Pennsylvania, Rick Santorum. Ladies and gentlemen, the Republican candidates for President of the United States. The crowd is on its feet. Everyone, please remain standing. It's time now for our national anthem, performed tonight by Tony Award winner Anthony Crivello, starring as the Phantom in Phantom Las Vegas, the Las Vegas Spectacular. Please stand for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
The candidates to please take your podiums. While the candidates are taking their podiums, I just want to tell you a little bit more about how tonight's debate is going to work. I'll be the moderator. I'll ask questions on a wide range of issues, and I'll work to make sure that each candidate is getting his or her fair share of questions. Also, Western voters right here in the hall will be asking questions as well, and viewers watching at home can participate also. We're accepting questions for the candidates on Twitter. If you send a question for the candidates on Twitter, make sure to include the hashtag CNNDebate. On Facebook at facebook.com/CNNPolitics and on CNNPolitics.com. Now, each candidate will have about 1 minute to answer the questions and 30 seconds for follow-ups and rebuttals. I'll make sure candidates get time to respond if they're singled out for criticism. There are no buzzers, there's no bells. I'll just politely inform the candidates when they need to wrap things up. We want everyone watching to emerge from this debate more informed about the candidates, more able to judge who should be the next president of the United States. Now that everyone is in place, it's time for the candidates to introduce themselves to our audience. All the candidates are going to keep it short. Here's an example. I'm Anderson Cooper. I'm usually anchoring AC 360 on CNN, but I'm honored to be here in Las Vegas at the Western Republican presidential debate. That would be my introduction. So, Senator Santorum, you're first. Let's start with you.
Thank you, Anderson. I'm Rick Santorum. My wife Karen and I are the parents of 7 children. And my little girl, Isabella, 3 years old, had some surgery today. She's doing fine. But I just wanted to send to her a little, I love you, and I will take the red eye home to be with you tomorrow and make sure that you're feeling kind.
I'm Congressman Ron Paul from Texas. I'm the champion of liberty. I am the only one that has offered a balanced budget in a sincere method. And also, I present the case for a free society as being the best defense for peace and prosperity.
I am businessman Herman Cain. I've been married to my wife, Gloria, for 43 years. And I'm a 42-year businessman, which means I solve problems for a living.
I'm Mitt Romney. I was a businessman for 25 years. Then I had the fun of getting the chance to help run the Olympic Winter Games in Salt Lake City next door. And then I had the fun also being governor of Massachusetts. I also solve problems, sometimes for a living, sometimes for other people to make things better. And I hope to be your president. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Texas Governor Rick Perry, a proven job creator and a man who is about economic growth, an authentic conservative, not a conservative of convenience.
I'm Newt Gingrich, and unlike President Obama, I'm glad to be in Las Vegas. I think it's a great place to have a convention. And when I am president, we're going to replace class warfare with cooperation so all Americans can get off food stamps and onto paychecks.
Hi, my name is Michelle Bachmann. I am thrilled to be able to be with you tonight in Las Vegas. And this is one night when I hope what happens in Vegas doesn't stay in Vegas.
All right, let's time to begin. We'll begin with actually a question in the hall.
This is for all candidates. What's your position on replacing the federal income tax with a federal sales tax?
I'll direct that to Congresswoman Bachmann. You've been very critical of Herman Cain's 999 plan, which calls for a 9% sales tax, a 9% income tax, a 9% corporate tax. In fact, you said it would destroy the economy. Why?
Well, I am a former federal tax litigation attorney, and also my husband and I are job creators. One thing I know about Congress, being a member of Congress for 5 years, is that any time you give the Congress a brand new tax, it doesn't go away. When we got the income tax in 1913, the top rate was 7%. By 1980, the top rate was 70%. If we give Congress a 9% sales tax, how long will it take a liberal president and a liberal Congress to run that up to maybe 90%? Who knows? What I do know is that we also have to be concerned about the hidden tax of the value-added tax, because at every step and stage of production, you'd be taxing that item 9% on the profit. That's the worry. In my plan, again, that's a tax plan. It's not a jobs plan. My plan for economic recovery is real jobs right now. I have a tax plan. I have a jobs plan. I have an energy plan and a plan to really turn this country around and create millions of high-paying jobs.
Mr. Cain, a lot of prominent conservatives now are coming forward saying that your 999 plan would actually raise taxes on middle-class voters, on lower-income voters.
The thing that I would encourage people to do before they engage in this knee-jerk reaction is read our analysis. It is available at hermancain.com. It was performed by fiscal associates, and all of the claims that are made against it. It is a jobs plan. It is revenue neutral. It does not raise taxes on those that are making the least. All of those are simply not true. The reason that our plan is being attacked so much is because lobbyists, accountants, politicians, they don't want to throw out the current tax code and put in something that's simple and fair. They want to continue to be able to manipulate the American people with a 10 million word mess. Let's throw out the 10 million word mess and put in our plan, which will liberate the American workers and liberate American businesses.
Senator Santorum, will his plan raise taxes?
Herman's well-meaning, and I love his boldness, and it's great. But the fact of the matter is, I mean, reports are now out that 84% of Americans would pay more taxes under his plan. That's the analysis, and it makes sense. Because when you don't provide a standard deduction, when you don't provide anything for low-income individuals, and you have a sales tax and an income tax, and as Michelle said, a value-added tax, which is really what his corporate tax is, we're talking about major increases in taxes on people. He also doesn't have anything that takes care of the families. I mean, you have a situation where under Herman's plan, a single person pays as much in taxes as a man and a woman raising 3 children. Ever since we've had the income tax in America, we've always taken advantage of the fact that we want to encourage people to have children and not have to pay more already to raise children, but also pay that additional taxes. We gave some breaks for families. He doesn't do that in this bill, and we've seen that happen in Europe. And what happened? Boom! Birth rates went into the basement. It's a bad tax for. Again, it's bold. I give him credit for starting a debate, but it's not good for families, and it's not good for low income.
I'm going to give you 30 seconds to respond. That 84% figure comes from the Tax Policy Center.
That simply is not true. I invite people to look at our analysis, which we make available. Secondly, the point that he makes about is a value-added tax. I'm sorry, Representative Bachmann.